Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of All NBA 24/7. This is episode 8. My name is Rishi Kapoor, and I am your host as usual. And on today's episode, we're going to be discussing Andrew Bynum. Andrew Bynum, that's a name that we have not heard in a while, but he's making a comeback, and he's trying to make a comeback at age 30 years old. Last time he played was for the Indiana Pacers back in 2014. It's hard to imagine. I mean, he's only 30 years old, and there are a couple videos now on YouTube of him working out. He's starting to hit the three-point shot because now he sees that the NBA now is different. There are a lot of, stretch bigs now going out and shooting threes and playing on the perimeter. And there are like videos of him, doing drills, doing outlet passes, outlet finishes, and shooting a three-point shot. So it's going to be interesting to see, if any team signs, if any team takes a chance on him and signs him. I mean, keep in mind, he's got, a history of being injury prone. He's got, a history of being a hothead and not having his mind right, not having his head right. And I wonder what, the primary reason is that he's coming back to the NBA. Does he miss the game? Is he broke? Is he trying to get money? So I don't know, because TMZ, I remember, did catch up with him, I believe, 2 years ago and asked him, hey, are you interested in making an NBA comeback? And he said, no, absolutely not. I'm done with the NBA. I'm never going to be in the league again. I'm never going to, I never want to come back to the league again. And now it's very interesting to see, he's making a comeback. But the game has changed. There aren't a lot of players now, not a lot of bigs that are, doing the back to the basket moves. A lot of them are outside shooting threes, but his three-point shot did look pretty good. But then again, he doesn't have a hand in his face. They're practice videos, and practice videos can be deceiving. Nothing's like in-game speed and everything like that. But he has gotten in great shape. I'll give him that. He is moving very pretty fluidly. And he did schedule workouts, for a lot of NBA teams. That is yet to be determined which teams they are. But it's going to be interesting to see, if any team takes a chance on him. Because he hasn't played in 4 years, I would not do what the Minnesota Timberwolves did with Luol Deng. I mean, Luol Deng missed a year of NBA basketball and he got a contract, but missing 4 years of NBA basketball is a lot of time. I feel like if any team is going to take a chance on him, they should give him a 10-day contract. I feel like he is worth a 10-day contract. They can see, how he's going to be playing. Because a lot can happen in 10 days. You can play 3-4 games in 10 days. You have 4 games and 5 nights at times, right? So I feel like, if any team's going to take a chance on him, they should do a 10-day, because he does have size. He's 7'1", and he played about 7-8 years in the NBA. A lot of those years though were him being injury prone, and but he was averaging 14 and 10, 15 and 8. He was averaging one season 16 and 11, and people are arguing that he's the best big man in the league. I mean, that was the one year he was an all-star and played 60 games. And people were saying that he's better than Dwight Howard. So because his post moves are more fluid, he had like a better IQ, better footwork. And nowadays I think in the NBA. A lot of the bigs are on the perimeter, but I think it'd be good kind of to see like an old school big now come back to the league, right? Come back into the league, and pose a force now to a team that to teams that are not familiar to seeing bigs with their back to the basket, because he still has those post moves, that he learned under Kareem Abdul-Jabbar during his time with the Lakers. So I feel like a team should take a chance on him, at least give him a 10-day contract and see how he performs. He has missed a lot of games, a lot of years of NBA basketball, 4 years of NBA basketball. So if he had missed a year or a couple months, then I'd give him a 1-year contract. But the fact that he's missed 4 years of basketball, I would not offer him a 1-year contract right now. I feel like a 10-day contract would be best for Andrew Bynum. And he's in great shape. He's in better shape than what he was when he was with the Indiana Pacers during a short stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's in better shape now than he was then. He kind of looks like how his body was when he came into the league at the tender age of 17 years old. I mean, this guy was the youngest player, to ever come into the NBA. And he was an all-star at one point, was one of the best big men, if not the best big man in the league, and played really well. So, I feel like he does deserve a 10-day contract. Nothing more than that, though. It's either 10-day or, go in the G League, and try to prove yourself. I feel like he would have had a better chance at getting a contract if, this was 4 or 5 years ago still, and, the game was different because the game has changed ever since, he's left the NBA. Like I said, a lot of bigs are going out and shooting threes, hence why he's practicing his three-point shots in practice videos. Keep in mind, this guy could not hit a three if his life depended on him, and he launched a three one time against Golden State. Mike Brown pulled him and took him straight to the bench. It was not heard of for big men to shoot threes back in the day. They were required to be in the post, right, and have their back to the basket. But now the game's changed. A lot of big men are on the perimeter shooting three pointers, being stretch five, stretch fours, because the game's quicker now. Like you got a lot of teams playing small ball, right, and the only way for big men to stay relevant nowadays, right, are that they join that speed, that tempo, and go on the perimeter to shoot three. So you see Joel Embiid doing it. You see Karl Anthony Towns doing it. You see Kristaps Porzingis, these fours and fives, shooting threes. So that's what you got to do now. If you're big coming to the league, you need to practice your down low post game, right? And you also need to go out there, right, and practice the threes because Andrew Bynum, when he comes to the league, yeah, sure, he can hit the threes, but then he's gonna have to go outside and guard, right, the big fives that are, shooting three. He's gonna have to go outside and guard Joel Embiid, who's launching a three. So we'll see what happens, but I feel like he deserves a 10-day contract, and in my opinion, I feel like if he gets a 10-day contract, he will impress, and he will, receive a contract for the remainder of the year. That's my opinion. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen his workout videos so far, go check them out on YouTube. And tell me what you think. About Andrew Bynum. You think he deserves a contract? You think he'll make a comeback? Um, Tell me what are your thoughts in the comments section below. And yeah, guys, thank you for joining me today. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe on my videos. And also in the last video, I forgot to mention, comment on whether or not you think Luol Deng will make a comeback. There's a lot of players making comebacks now. Luol Deng, Andrew Bynum, Monte Ellis. So let me know what you think of these guys and if they'll make a comeback. In my opinion, Luol Deng and Andrew Bynum, even Monte Ellis, I think, will get back to the league. And I feel like they will start to perform again, So continue to like, comment, and subscribe on my videos, guys. And I've got a lot more content coming. I got a lot more topics that I'm going to be discussing. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.